1 of 2 free throws so far today.
There we go. Finally made one.
Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 2 years he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
And the Pistons making a change here. Meeks is checked in. And Indiana with the change here, too. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Ellis. They get it back. The shot by Hill. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
What?
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
Pistons trailed by 6. It's stolen by Hill.
Okay, 2 really bad.
Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Stuckey's got the ball. And Turner kicks to George.
Paul George.
And it's George again missing. The Pistons have gone a sensational 5 of 5 from the field since the start of the second quarter.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Now, here is Hill. He's got 11. Stuckey passes to Allen. The kick out to Hill. And it's off from three-point range.
It gets so close.
The Pistons have gotten all of their first 6 shots to go in here in the second. What a quarter so far.
Okay,
Boy, such
it's time to stop shooting.
outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up
Oh my
the
gosh.
assists. That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
When I can't
Well,
get
there's a
mine.
certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Morris, and it's Johnson in for Harris.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can
What?
jump
No,
out
I
of the
did not
building.
even mean to shoot that. I meant to
The
pump
Pistons
fake.
trailing. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Meeks. And it's all evened up.
16 seconds.
Meeks got 7 points. Here's Lawson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. On the wing, Stuckey. Indiana
Whatever your
again,
name
missing.
is, Stuckey or whatever.
Nobody even close
Out of
to
bounds
him,
with
and he
0.4
can't believe
seconds left.
he doesn't knock it down.
Can I do something? Dang it.
So the clock runs out with the score tied going into halftime.
28-28,
We'll
guys.
see you back here after the break for third
Wow, I
quarter
can't believe I
basketball.
came. Oh yeah, sorry guys if we're kind of just concentrating. Trust me, we'll get better as we go.
I'm gonna be that
Plus-
silenced person that's gonna come back
Plus
and murder.
We
JDP.
have a close ball
His
game on our
dad's
hands
sleeping,
as
so
we
he
get
has to be
set for the
quiet.
second half of basketball.
Talk about great numbers for Hill. He has 11 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping for him. He's got 3 of them.
Okay.
And you know what, Clark? If you continue
can
to
we-
shoot
can
the
we
way
skip
he
you?
is, he may have to become more of an integral part of their offensive scheme.
Why do one of the cheerleaders look like
And
a
we
guy?
welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. And there's certain to be some great basketball ahead for us. You look at George Hill, he's really been playing well.
We just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little
Pull
more
up.
assertive.
Pull up.
Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Marcus Morris is out there with Andre Drummond. And it's Harris in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons.
Nice easy look.
And guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
And Miles kicks to Hill. Pick up by Hill. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That's foul number 2 for him.
Quit.
And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories for him.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back to average career highs in points, rebounds, and assists. Partly because he was finally treated and looked to as a go-to guy, and he thrived in that role.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
All right, I'm ready.
Why does one of the girls look like a guy though?
He's checked in for Solomon Hill. And it's Lawson in for
Oh.
Rodney Stuckey. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Here's Lawson.
Come on, Ty.
Mahimi. Great positioning on the putback.
Don't.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always
Another
to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip
Another.
that one back in.
Why?
Another one.
That's really annoying.
Detroit.
Just not happy with
Okay,
how
just-
his team is playing,
Yes.
and they just have been on the wrong side of this run.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? Sometimes just a pause in the action, which is what a timeout can give you, is enough to change things around.
Take him.
And Drummond throws it down.
Alright, the video
He
clip
is
ended.
an automatic finisher when
I
he
got
gets
mine
into that
going.
area.
You know, he picks
Okay,
the
guys,
simple
yeah.
one-handed stuff to get the 2
Let's
points.
see. Oh my
And in a
gosh.
close game, though, guys, those
Start
could
yours.
be really
Again.
important points.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second
Yeah,
violation.
guys. So, got just a little bit left in this game.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Outside Hill.
Yeah, trust me, we're gonna be talking a lot more
And George, here we
usually.
Good D by
Yeah, it's
Drummond.
just we really gotta
Well,
concentrate.
he gets it in close,
And
but
then
you have
probably,
to credit
I say
that
we're gonna post
stifling
tomorrow.
defense for forcing the miss.
Yeah.
Exactly, Greg. I mean,
I'll
defense like
probably
that
be by
really
myself posting,
increases
but it's
the
probably
degree
gonna be a
of
funny post. I'm probably gonna get
on that
online,
shot by a
play some
large
people, and
amount.
just rage.
Here's Lawson. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket.
Let's go,
Miles, that's
Ty
good.
Lawson. Let's go.
A very good half for them from the field. They've got their shooting percentage up over 50%.
Yeah, their offense heating up, and anytime you shoot it this well, you're going to give yourself a chance to get the W.
Fans had a hard time finding their
Oh,
way
yeah, hey,
to the
guys, well, we
stadium
might
last
be
season
selling
for the
bracelets
Pistons
also,
at the
like
bottom
some
in
of those, like,
several
rubber
home
band ones.
attendance categories last year.
Yeah, that's right. All
Yeah.
the years, right? I mean, they used
Just
go
to
out
help this
and win
YouTube channel
championships,
grow.
But to be fair,
Yeah,
Sell
man,
them.
it was hard
And
at
just
times
for
to
some-
watch
a
the
source
Pistons
of-
play.
a
I mean,
source
they
of
could
some-
get
a little
cold
bit of money.
and really struggle on their home floor.
Yeah, so
And it's
hit me up in the
Drummond
comments if
you
you
know,
want
by
them.
some games that you guys want to
by
see.
4,
Yeah,
and that's out of bounds. Indiana will
What?
retain
Oh my
possession.
gosh.
text us in the
Risky
comments.
pass in a situation like that. Very
Tell
lucky
us.
that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it
What
through. I thought he was
what kind
headed
do
the
you
other way
want,
with that
and
one.
then what
Looking at
colors
who's
and
out there now
we'll
for the
make it.
Pistons. Anthony Tolliver.
Yeah, like
He's
those
checked in for
balloon
Marcus
ones
Morris.
or whatever.
Johnson comes
Yeah.
in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Indiana also making some changes. Turner's checked in for Mahimi. Lavoy Allen comes in for C.J. Miles. And it's Ellison for George Hill.
Passing to the wrong place.
It's stolen
What
by
the
Johnson.
That's
heck?
the wrong
And the ball
play.
goes out of bounds.
I don't even know
Last
what the
touch
heck
by
that
Johnson.
was. Another
And
timeout.
that's just carelessness there.
No.
I mean, you have
Never
got to
mind.
have your head in the game.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Lawson
Oh,
drives
no,
in.
no, no. Of course.
Indiana again missing. The Pistons have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Here's George.
Ooh,
And he
that
jams it with
360.
authority.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
Dang it.
Pistons trailed by 4. Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot when things are on the line. He is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary
taking
scoring
your little
role
scheme
from
of
Dirk Nowitzki.
fast
Stole
play.
a lot of games for them last season.
Tolliver kicks to Johnson. Tolliver with the bucket.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half. Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seemed like at least half a dozen games for them, he would just take over. Started to get looked at as the top go-to guy late. They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
The defense not putting
Little
up
Ty
any
Lawson.
fight
Little
on
Ty
the
Lawson.
inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Kicks it to Jackson.
Okay.
Well, time
11
pass, and he
seconds
goes
left.
straight to the bucket for the layup. Now it's just a 3-point Pacer lead. To the inside. Allen dishes to Ellis. Johnson the best to Turner. And here's
Drop it.
George for 3.
Dang it.
And as we conclude the third quarter, what a game, neither team giving ground.
Gosh.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead. And what's
You know,
been a
guys,
very
actually
well
comment down
contested
below
game.
if you want us to make any other content except for gaming, okay?
Yeah.
Pacers
We tried
leading
doing a
by
vlogging
3
channel, but it
on
just
the
didn't
court
work
for
out too well.
Indiana. Ellis is out there with Rodney Stuckey. Then there's Hill.
Bang!
Then it's Turner. And it's Mahinmi in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Add another
Or we could always
triple
try
to their
it again.
second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just are not letting
Bro,
up at
look
all.
at his lips. It, like,
Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has
How
a
does
twin
he
brother,
talk?
older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at
Hey,
Kansas.
hey, don't miss,
drafted
bro.
13th and
Don't
14th
miss.
in the same year.
What was
Eventually played
that?
for the same pro team.
I
That
told you,
is
don't
joined
miss.
at the hip.
You know
Yo,
what? I don't need
don't
it
miss.
from you,
Don't
okay?
freaking
And
miss.
looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement
Bruh.
over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
He's all alone.
Oh,
Count it,
my.
and the Pacer lead has been cut to just 1 on the basket from Caldwell Pope.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Whoa.
Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Some changes for Indiana.
I don't know.
C.J.
I'm playing
Miles
pretty
comes in
good with this
for
team.
Turner. And it's Hill in for Monte Ellis. Now a timeout called by Detroit. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season,
All
were
these
right in the
timeouts are
playoff
annoying.
until the very end.
Yeah.
Had a chance, in fact,
It's okay.
GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Doris Burke.
I listened in on Stan
Yo,
Van Gundy's
Doris has
show.
handles,
His
yo.
message, don't even look at the score right now. We've got to make one play at a time and execute. That's how we'll take this thing home. Kevin, he's trying to keep him focused.
And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference
Oh,
finals
my.
appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload
I
than a
really hate when
rebuild
you
situation
do that.
for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the
You know,
playoffs,
when I go to
but
pass
to
it
get
in,
back to being
you're right
Yeah,
there.
why don't you do it to me?
Game
You know what?
winding down, and they just
I don't
keep changing leads.
Absolutely. I mean, 6 lead
Thanks.
changes
You're
here so
leaving a
far.
player open.
Exciting stuff.
No!